Oh my gosh, you guys, what's up? It's me, Modest Pie, back again with another video for Switchblade, and today is a little bit more of a serious one. It's common knowledge that I haven't been uploading as frequently as I used to and as I would like to the past month or so. And there are reasons for that. And first off, let me just start this video by saying that I'm not looking for any sympathy or anybody to come here feeling sorry for me. The only reason I'm making this video is to inform you guys as to what's going on and maybe potentially help somebody else out there also like identify what's going on in their lives if they're not aware at this point in time about what's going on with them physically. Because it can be quite scary. I'll be honest with you. If you don't know what's going on, and luckily, yeah, there are cures and there are ways to work around these things, but unfortunately, obviously you can already deduce that I'm talking about a specific condition or disease, and I think you guys know I've been having medical problems for a while. um, I haven't really made a secret of it, but I haven't really shared a lot about what's wrong with me and gone into detail about what it is, so I thought I'd do that today in this video here. So first off, um, I suffer from two conditions, and both of these usually do go hand in hand. The one's a little bit more scary than the other one, and maybe the other way around as well, depending on what way you look at it. Um, but I'll start with the first one, and that is I have gastroesophageal reflux disease, which GERD for short, which is basically it's a digestive disease in which the stomach acid in your stomach like irritates your food pipe, so your esophagus. It's basically a chronic disease that occurs when the stomach acid flows into the food pipe and irritates the lining. And if you have heartburn more than twice a week, it's usually indicative of this. Um, symptoms are like if you've eaten and you get a burning sensation in your chest, and it gets worse when you lie down, especially when you lie down on your right hand side, like on your shoulder. Um, you can get medication for this, but it's usually just a temporary relief. You can make lifestyle changes, but again, it's a temporary relief in most cases. Because stomach acid it's an acid, so as soon as it starts, entering your esophagus, it start eating away at the lining and the valves that basically control, uh, you know, uh, passage into your stomach. So yeah, it's one of those things you're going to struggle with it for the rest of your life. But let me tell you a story why this is extremely scary. The first time this happened to me, I freaked out a lot. And the reason is that I was not aware that this was something that could happen. I was lying in bed basically, and I woke up choking on my own stomach bile, choking like literally. I could not breathe. I was so scared and so afraid. I literally thought I was going to die that night. That's what I was thinking. And I immediately grabbed my cell phone and started Googling and seeing what's going on, what's wrong with me. Do I have to phone a doctor? Do I need to get to a hospital or something? And luckily, I realized that no, it's bad. I mean, you're still freaking out, and your mind is still running 1,000 miles an hour. Like, what's going on with me? Why can't I breathe? Why did this happen? Um, and yeah, luckily, it turns out the next morning I was awake again, was breathing, I was okay. But the impact that that night had on me, I will always remember. I was so afraid of dying. Um, and it's happened to me a couple of times since then, actually. And it's usually brought on by like if you eat more spicy food and if you eat late at night, then it's definitely exacerbated and it actually happens quite easily. So, what you can do to mitigate this is there is over the counter medication. I'm drinking a Mares, which basically you drink an hour before you eat. I don't do that. I drink it before I go to bed because what it does is it dries up your stomach acid. It makes your stomach stop producing that acid for a while, and that obviously helps with the reflux. So The other thing that you can do is lose weight. So I'm working my ass off, walking around every day, closing all my Apple rings, getting about 1,000 calories closed every day, trying to lose weight. I'm making some dietary adjustments, but not a lot of those because I know myself. If I do everything at one time, I'm gonna fail. So I'm taking this step by step. Um, yeah, this thing. I mean, and another time it happened. It happened when I was at in a different city for work. So I was at a hotel, staying there, and I woke up 3 times that night. 3 times it happened to me. The third time, I thought I was going to die again because it happens 3 times in a row. That gets scary, guys. Yeah, it's definitely not a fun thing to live through. So, my advice to you, I'm going to give you at the end of this video, but stay healthy, stay fit. All I can say. It's not a fun thing to live through. And then the other thing that I have is I have sleep apnea. And I don't know if you guys are aware of what sleep apnea is, but basically, it's a relatively common condition. I think, as far as I remember, 1 in every 5 people has it, or 1 in every 3. I'm not sure. I might be misquoting here, but it's a relatively common condition. But even though it's relatively common, it's not something that's widely discussed. That was Blair. It's not something that everybody discusses. So I'm just making this video as well so you guys are aware of what's going on in my life, and anybody out there else suffering from the same condition or from the same symptoms, this is probably what's going on with you, and you don't have to freak out. There are things that you can do. But basically, the signs and symptoms of this sleep apnea uh, are most commonly like the following. Firstly, loud snoring, which is very common. Like a lot of people snore. So that in itself is not necessarily a bad thing. But here's where it gets scary again. Like episodes in which you stop breathing during your sleep, and usually this is another person would tell you that you stop breathing during your sleep. My wife tells me this. She freaks out. I stop breathing. She shakes me, and then I start breathing again. Gasping for air during sleep. This has happened um, as well. Like you'll be in the middle of sleep and you're like a fish out of water. Um, Waking up with a dry mouth. This also happens to me like fairly often, and I always have a glass of water on my bedside table to help this because the dry mouth usually means that I'm going to start coughing uncontrollably, and I don't like doing that. It's not a lot of fun, obviously. So as soon as I wake up with a dry mouth, I grab a little water and I start drinking the water. You wake up with headaches in the morning. This has happened. It's not something that happens that frequently. And here are 2 things that are a little bit ironic, I would say. You get difficulty staying asleep, so you've got insomnia, and that's definitely something that I have. Um, my sleep pattern has not been healthy at all for the past month, especially. Like I have for the past month, on average, I've had 2 hours and 15 minutes of sleep. And how do I know this? I'm gathering the data with my Apple Watch. So um, yeah, it's definitely a problem for me. Like the last week, especially. Excuse me. I've had an hour's sleep on average every night. Towards the end of the week, it's getting better now, which is good for me because I can start sort of regaining normality, but it's not normal as it was when I was younger and I was more healthy. So, insomnia, and then here's the ironical flip hypersomnia, especially during the daytime. So, what this means is you'll be sitting, focusing on something, and you'll just fall asleep. And this sucks, especially when you go to work and you work in an office because people don't always understand that you have this condition. I've luckily so far avoided being judged because I used to sit in a corner. And with Corona, well, yeah, I said the word now. But with this disease that is ravaging the planet at the moment, it's also helped because obviously I'm able to work from home. So as soon as I start feeling a little bit sleepy, I go take a power nap and then I get back to work. This helps. It helps a lot. But preferably, I would like to not fall asleep during the day in my chair at the office. And the scary thing is, this can happen while you're driving as well. And it has almost happened to me while I was driving a few times. Luckily, I don't drive alone. Usually, my son is usually with me in the car. So I'm saying luckily, but oh, it could end in disaster. But luckily, yeah, he's, I think once or twice he's shaken me awake. Like when I was going under, I wasn't really all that much asleep at that point, but it can happen. So it's definitely not something that you want to joke with. So ironic, you sleep because you cannot sleep. And the thing is, sleep that you've lost, you can never really truly regain. So even if you fall asleep at work, you're still going to wake up tired. Um, then the next thing is difficulty paying attention. So you are unable to concentrate on one task for very long. And even if you try, it's hard to make heads or tails about what's going on, which is really unfortunate, especially in my line of work. I do software development, so it's that's when I started realizing I need to start doing something. Is when it started impacting my job. So far, it's been okay, but I've realized that I'm not as sharp as I used to be, so I'm trying to fix that. Um, Still able to do my work so far, so that's good. But yeah, um, concentration is a problem. Then the last thing, and this is the thing that's bad for people around you, is you are extremely irritable. So this means that you lash out at times when you don't mean to lash out, and you say things that you don't mean to say. And I mean, sure, we're all human beings and we all have control over what we do and how we act. And I'm not trying to make an excuse here and say that I can be a douche because I want to be a douche, but it's happened before where I've said words to people that I immediately regretted, and it's not fun. It doesn't feel good. It's definitely something that makes you feel bad. And yeah, it can hurt your relationships. And this is all just because of one thing, and that is sleep apnea. So, if you're out there and you're suffering from any of these symptoms or most of these symptoms, maybe have a look at yourself, go to a doctor, um, get diagnosed properly, get the medication. It helps. The problem is they cannot give you a sleeping pill because of your GERD, the gastroesophageal reflux disease. As soon as that starts happening and you can't wake up, obviously it's going to be bad for you. You're not going to wake up the next morning. So you don't want that. Um, what you want to do is you want to make dietary changes, start eating more healthy. I know it's not a lot of fun, but it's not that bad either. A good salad is actually delicious. You'd be surprised. And then the other thing that you want to do is start exercising. And I've realized this like last year. That's why one of the reasons why I got myself a dog. I'd like to say that the Blair Witch Project uh, inspired me into getting the dog. But one of the reasons behind that was I realized that I needed to get more exercise. So having a dog helps a lot. Um, Not saying that getting a dog is going to be the same for you, but since I got Blair, I've been more active and I can prove it. I've got the data to prove it. But yeah, I've been very active the last 2 months, actually trying to get some more exercise. And I go for a daily walk. I try to at least get my 30 minutes worth of exercise every day, which is usually the walk. I try to close my movement ring, which is set. My movement goal is set as 1,000 calories, which is a lot. Most people have it set at about 500. Um, and then obviously, yeah, just stand up every now and then, have your body circulate some blood, get stuff going. Um, those are the three things that I do every day, or including the dietary changes, which I'm not doing too drastically yet. Still have a burger now and then, but most of the times I'll have it with a salad instead of fries now. Or uh, if I can, I avoid the burger and I'd have a wrap, which is a little bit more healthy. Um, yeah, guys. I mean, that's what's been going on in my life the past couple of months, and especially the last month. That's why I haven't been uploading. I apologize to anybody who's been looking forward to me making a video, streaming a little bit or something. And like I'm saying, I'm not making excuses. But yeah, definitely that has affected me negatively. Again, it's not the end of the world. There's stuff you can do about it, especially the apnea. With apnea, if you follow a healthy lifestyle, it's possible to completely reverse it, which is a good thing. So I'm trying to get there. I want to be where I was when I was in high school, which was super fit. I could run for 3 kilometers. Okay, granted, I passed out. Not passed out. I'll fall down. I fall down at 3 kilometers end. Fell down. Not now. I fall down now at about 30 meters. But I'm gonna get there. And it definitely helps when I have the motivation. So I've been joining a couple of friends of mine on the Apple Watch in competition, and we've been competing, and it helps a lot. They motivate me every time I do an exercise, and it helps. It really does help keep you want to go and do this. So if you can get any sort of support, do that as well. And I think we've reached the end of the videos, guys. I hope you all stay safe, and I hope you all are okay. And thank you for everybody who's been sending me messages and telling me that they're supporting me. I really do appreciate it. Yes, you guys are awesome. Sean, you're cool. Gator, thanks, man. Boxfoot, you guys don't know the little messages that you send on Discord, what they actually mean to me. Thanks a lot for that. And yeah, I suppose just stay safe. Uh, don't get in the situation where I am if you can avoid it, please. If you're young and you're fit, don't go sit on your ass and start eating hamburgers as soon as you graduate. Continue exercising, continue staying healthy. It's not worth it. You don't want to wake up and wonder whether you're going to wake up the next morning because you're choking to death. It's not a fun thing. On that serious note, I love you all. Thank you for the support. Have a good one. I've been Martyr Spy for Switchblade. Over and out. Cheers.